Abusiafo aha Ghanatube so ensema ekoso ewo omaiga ni aha ena wonsabeka ni nyina the trending one, the latest one, the hot one eni nya eka kan le Abusiafo matena sise die eni na nsem no mababo we bia no pa say yenti Abusiafo be so se beka kotie ensem no na ye ba na me matoa so ede amount.
To other business stories, government has announced it has finally reached a memorandum of understanding with its official creditors committee, which has been signed by all participating creditors within countries. Finance Minister Atuforsen disclosed this at a news conference in Accra today, adding that this will result in a relief of 2.8 billion cedis.
According to Dr. Forsen, this particular process was being commenced by the former finance minister, that is Dr. Amin Adam. Now, as part of Ghana's IMF program, there are certain thresholds Ghana is supposed to meet, and one of them is actually having its debt to GDP ratio being reduced to beneath some 55% by 2025. Dr. Atuforsen said the government will continue to work closely with these official creditors committee to, sign the agreement anytime soon.
One of the key elements of the debt restructuring was the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding by the official creditors committee for Ghana. The former Minister of Finance, the Honorable Mohammed Amin Adam, commenced the process for the signing of the MOU by individual members of the official creditors committee in June 2024. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce that following His Excellency the President's directive, we have made significant progress in Ghana's external debt restructuring. On the 17th of January 2025, I, in my capacity as Minister of Finance designate, met with Ghana's advisors and the technical team of the Ministry of Finance to discuss the state of affairs, create a timeline, and outline action plan for implementation. Since then, the Ministry of Finance team have worked tirelessly to advance the President directive. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks a significant milestone from the team, and we are pleased to inform all Ghanaians that the Memorandum of Understanding, reached with the official creditors committee last June, has now been fully signed by all 25 participating creditors country. We are grateful for the official creditors committee's members, their commitment, and particularly the committee's co-chair, China and France, for their support and assistance to Ghana throughout this process.
According to Finance Minister Dr. Atuforsen, government is working assiduously to cut down expenditure and also to make sure that all key macroeconomic indicators are being put in proper order. For Joy Business, James Eshen.
Ghana has been able to save some $1.4 billion since it started exporting oil in commercial quantities. This was captured in the country's petroleum account with the New York Federal Bank. The following report has more.
These are funds that the country invested as a result of earnings from crude oil exports, as well as returns on investments. In 2023, the savings was pegged at $1.2 billion. The Heritage Fund, which the country's petroleum laws requires government to save some of the oil revenue for future generations, had about 1 billion cedis. It, however, increased to $1.2 billion in 2024. The Stabilization Fund, which is supposed to cushion government's budget in years when petroleum revenue are declining, also had $190 million in 2023, shot up to $196 million last year. The account showed that the amount that Ghana has been able to save went up from $1.2 billion in 2023 to $1.4 billion in 2024. However, some have also raised questions about the country's petroleum laws in terms of where and how these funds can be invested, looking at the current returns.
Moving on, the city's high rate of depreciation against the dollar since the beginning of this year has slowed significantly. I'm joined in studio by my colleague George Wiafi to give us the background of what is happening on the currency market. George. What's going on?
So a lot of things are happening in the currency market, but for the benefit of our viewers, let's give some background to this situation. If you look at the fact that since the beginning of this year, actually, the Ghana cedi has depreciated by some significant amount, but it began depreciating actually from the beginning of this year after holding its strength against the dollar since maybe October or early November 2024. Now, in December, we should look at the bank's rate. It was doing somewhere around 14 Ghana cedis, 60 pesos to the dollar in December. Now, what is causing the problem now? Now, just some background. The challenge with the Ghana cedi is purely a supply and demand issue. So, if there isn't enough supply, then it will have an impact on those who are demanding the dollars that are limited. More people would now be looking for more Ghana cedis to get that same value. We do not print dollars in this country. So just to establish some grounds for our discussion as well. What has caused that? We are talking about limited supply of dollars. You also had the fact that there was surge in demand by businesses who were demanding dollars to finance their like stocks. So for instance, a company like Joy FM is saying that for every year we need cameras or we need microphones to change our microphones. We are not going, because of the problems with the city, don't want to wait till maybe even June or even March. So we are trying to restore for the full year. Therefore, people are front-loading their imports for the year, and that has seen a surge in dollar demand by businesses. And that's why you're seeing the bit about the surge in demand by businesses to finance their imports.
I see a 2.5%
depreciation. Yeah, depending on which numbers you're using, some might say that it's even higher than this. Now, if you want to work with the Bank of Ghana rates, they are saying that from the first weeks in the month of January, the Ghana cedi has depreciated by some 2.5% since that is the beginning of January. If you try to compare that to 2023, in this week or maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks for the first month, the cedi has done some 1.3 depreciation. So you could see that really the cedi is under pressure when it comes to January 2025. So what has caused the marginal, let me be very careful with my choice of with the significant slowdown in the rate of depreciation that we saw in the previous weeks. Then I bring about the issue about the demand and supply thing.
Yeah.
There were argument that the Bank of Ghana has not been on the market for quite a long time. We understand that somewhere around last week, they pumped in $320 million. That improvement in supply has seen the cedi's rate of depreciation slow down significantly. And now the cedi, if you could look at just a week ago, it was doing somewhere around 15 Ghana cedis, 70 pesos. And this even among the commercial banks. It has come down to 15 Ghana cedis, 25 pesos, according to the rates that some of the commercial banks are quoting right now.
Some have said that why wouldn't the central bank allow the cedi to flow at its normal rate of depreciation instead of market intervention consistently by the central bank?
So you cannot have an absolute free market. There would always be a case where there'll be some level of market intervention. In a market where we've actually ceded most of our dollar supplies to the Bank of Ghana. So obviously there should be some intervention from the regulator to try and slow the rate as well when it comes to its performance. If you look at the Bank of Ghana's reserves ending last year, about $8.9 billion, they might be in a strong position to support the Ghana cedi, Winston.
Judge Rafe, we appreciate this insightful analysis there here on the marketplace. We are now being joined on Zoom for more analysis on this with currency analyst Courage Boti. Courage, on the marketplace. We have more business update for you here on the marketplace. Stay tuned right after this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back.
Some no ena yeti ebusuafo obetimi eja comment no de amame ewo comment section papa na meje bre akinkan de abusuafo ansa na mesori mo so no make I will say aha Ghanatube trending hot issues, latest issues, sad news, happy news ni kaka wina ebusuafo aha ena onsa ebeka ni wina enti make sure yourself or best subscribe ama me na afin so odo wonsa emia notification bell no so so e dey ama me send e be a se ensem no me dey tuma na we nya no entem pass me ma o we fin so se obe like in videos no e dey ama na me ametina se e dey ensem no ebrem me din ene suno sisi ade makram